Hello, good morning. If you are listening to this lesson, that means that I am not in class. You have a substitute teacher today who you will be nice to. And in my place, I will be teaching this lesson of writing an essay outline for an expository essay. Now, there should be a few of you who have the PowerPoint printed out in front of you. And if that isn't enough and you need the lesson to be paused at any point, raise your hand, give your signal, and the substitute teacher who knows your signal already will pause the video to let you catch up. So just communicate that and we will be happy to help you. So let's briefly go over what we learned last class. Last class, we read Flannery O'Connor's A Good Man is Hard to Find, a short story. We read that all together in last class, during the last class. And we also wrote down the major events within that story in our writing notebooks. And we also discussed the components of an expository essay. Now, you may have also heard the term explanatory essay, which both of those terms are used interchangeably. I actually prefer to say explanatory essay because the means of this essay is in the word. We're explaining something to our readers. We're explaining a topic to our readers by analyzing and evaluating information. And we did already discuss that definition last class, but it's here again if you need to get that down. Think book report. Think of the last book report you did, which was probably in fifth grade in elementary school at some point. When you give that book report, it's just a basic rundown of the major events, kind of like what we wrote down in our writing notebooks yesterday, but we're taking that concept to the next level by including other things that we wrote down in our writing notebooks the other day, like major themes that took place. And that may differ depending on what group you were in. We had a lot of different conversations about different themes. A lot of you had some similar ideas that you presented, and a lot of you had different ones that other groups had not presented yet. So we'll take another look at that in a minute. But a book report essentially is an explanatory essay. An explanatory essay takes that up quite a few notches by including not only the major events within the story, but the major themes, maybe a historical perspective from the writer, as well as the historical perspective of the piece itself. What time period did this book take place? What time period did it become popularized? Those were also concepts that we discussed and wrote in our notebooks. Today, we will take that information and brainstorm in our groups and discuss ideas and themes regarding the text. So basically a continuation of where we left off last class. And we're going to compose an outline based on that brainstorming process. Okay, using the information from our notes yesterday, our class discussions from yesterday and today, and eventually the information that you're going to get from your small groups today. So before we write our outline, we need to check out why exactly writing an outline is important. And this YouTube video is going to kind of give us a little indication of that, of why it's important.
How to write an essay outline. So, you've done your research. A few internet browsing sessions, a chat with your tutor, maybe even a trip or three to the school library. You've likely got plenty of ideas, scribbled notes, reminders, and loose strands of information all swirling around in your mind. This is all well and good, but all that info has to be put in order if you want to create an essay that is coherent and logical. The best way to organize your thoughts is to craft an outline. Remember how much Essay Pro values structure? Well, this is precisely the time to apply that skill. Take all those notes and scribbled words and create a logical structure for your paper. A good outline is a crucial step that you cannot do without, as it will become the visual representation of your mind's eye. But before we get going, remember that here at essaypro.com, we want to help you guys improve your writing. Check out our past videos to make your writing life a whole lot easier. Leave a like and press that notification button so you never miss any of the good stuff that we publish regularly. Creating an outline for your essay. How would you define an outline? There are multiple definitions out there, and one is often just as good as the other. But we like to define an outline as a plan for your paper. And everything works out better with just a little planning, doesn't it?
This plan C can't possibly fail!
Use the outline, the plan, to organize your thoughts and ideas and visualize the points you want to make in your essay. In short, craft a sound plan of action for the ideas you want to communicate through your words. The outline represents and visualizes the high-level structure of an essay. In other words, its layout from beginning to end. Now remember that we recently published a 3-part series that goes deep into the essay creation process. For the 3-part series, we use the topic of the current coronavirus outbreak, so we'll use the same topic here. Remember, the outline is a visual plan for your essay, so the outline for the coronavirus essay might look somewhat similar to this. Introduction. A short intro about the background to the outbreak. Body paragraphs. They consist of facts and key points. And conclusion. Closing statements about the aftermath and, for instance, how to help prevent future outbreaks, leading the reader to further learning. Remember, these are just...
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it short because he touched on exactly what I was going to lead into, which is the basic structure of an outline. Let's start with the introduction. Your introduction should hook the reader to capture his or her attention. It should not go into depth of what your essay is going to include, other than the briefly stating 3 or more main paragraphs that are explained in the body paragraphs. That's it. And you're going to basically compose that into a thesis statement. You're taking a topic sentence from each paragraph and sort of combining it all into one sentence for your thesis. So you're giving a central idea with 3 reasons, and those 3 reasons will be taken from your 3 body paragraphs, which we'll go into in 1 minute. Your introduction should also contain the topic sentence of the essay. We should know exactly as a reader, we should know exactly what we're reading. Writers have to write do you remember our alien example? If an alien comes from outer space, and they didn't know how to tie their shoes, we'd have to be very specific with them, right? We couldn't just say it or that. We'd need to be very specific. And that's the exact same premise. So body paragraphs 2 through 4, it's going to be your longest section of your essay. It will contain 3 or more, just 3 really, fully developed paragraphs. If you want to write more, you're more than welcome to, but your outline only gives you room for 3. Each paragraph contains a topic sentence and at least 4 to 5 supporting detail sentences. And we've been working a lot on that. A lot of you guys are doing a phenomenal job of writing 4 to 5 supporting details. Sometimes we get a little lazy though. So we want to make sure that we are supporting this main idea of the paragraph. And how are we going to do that? By using supporting details. transition words and phrases will help move from one idea to the next. That will take place in the last sentence of each body paragraph. You are going to have a transition sentence. So, because the last thing we want is for it to be choppy and for our reader not to really understand how we got to our next point. We have to relate them a little bit. Think to our alien example again. Being very specific. And before I move on, let's just take a look at your topic sentence. It leaves room for each topic sentence. There should be 3 supporting details, 3 sentences that are your supporting details, and then one last sentence, which would be your transition sentence from one idea to the next. And if you guys need more resources explaining the concept of a transition word, phrase, or sentence, please let me know and I will provide that. I will upload it onto Google Classroom if we need it. So shoot me an email and let me know. In your conclusion paragraph, it brings a natural closure to your essay. It very briefly restates the 3 main points from each body paragraph, so 1 from each, and it ends with a strong statement or appeal to pathos, which we know is an appeal to one's emotions. So your conclusion restates your central idea. What's another word for a central idea? A thesis, which is we're a lot more comfortable with that word, right? That terminology. It's your thesis. So you want to make sure that you're restating your thesis, okay? And it's no new information. There should be no new revelations. There shouldn't be any discussion of themes that hadn't been discussed before. Your theme should already be stated in those 3 body paragraphs. So the final product. These are what your 2 graphic organizers are going to look like. One of them, the one on the left, there are very few of you. There are some of you who will receive an outline that looks like the one on the left. Most of you are going to receive the outline on the right, which is a traditional linear essay outline. And it's the same amount of work. It's just chunked differently. And then I will post this video onto Google Classroom for you guys to watch later. It's just a bit long. It's 15 minutes long, and we don't have that much time, right? But it is there as a resource for you guys to watch on Google Classroom later. Okay, so our 3 groups today in group 1, which will be meeting with the substitute teacher at the kidney table. Gabby, Ethan, Nalina, Alexander, Penelope, Cameron, and Olivia. You will be meeting with the substitute teacher and will be working on your outline and brainstorming process with one another. In group two, we have Dwayne, Clarissa, Paul, Midori, Aaliyah, Chandler, Sarah, Tanner, Aiden, Sahara, and Noelle, who will be working together as well during this brainstorming and outline process. And then group 3, Michael, Carlos, Audrey, Sanaya, Jordan, London, Tyson, Mia, Braden, and Julius and Dario will be working together during the brainstorming and outline process. Collaboration is always encouraged, and I hope that you guys do that. There will be several points throughout this lesson in which your substitute will come around and check from group to group to see how you guys are doing. However, I do ask that you respect the fact that she will be working one-on-one with group one today, and that we kind of stay as solution oriented within our groups as we possibly can. We want to be self-sufficient, but always know that if you have questions or need support, your substitute teacher will be more than willing to help you, as well as myself. I'm always an email away. Okay, and there will be points within this process that your substitute will also ask for FIS to 5 to see your guys' comprehension. Okay, and you guys know the drill. FIS means you don't get it at all. 5 means you've got it. You have a complete understanding of the assignment. Okay, I hope that your process is as awesome as it always is. Happy writing!